Yo, what's the word? Full-time father podcast. We are here, man. As promised, we have a very powerful woman who was able to help me out in my situation as far as court. So I'm very excited to have her here, so she can, share some insight of what she do and a little bit of her story, her little background. So, can you please introduce yourself, big dog?
Yes, my name is Nicole Daniels. I'm a custody coach. I went through a high conflict custody battle myself, and now I help create empowered parent-child relationships during high conflict custody battles while minimizing parental alienation.
Love it. I love it, man. And yeah, so this is very special, man. This is a resource for a lot of people that's going through custody battles, man. That retainer fee might be out your reach. You might not be able to lock down that big lawyer in your area. We still got somebody that's on a big level, but more affordable. She does offer free constellation, so you know, um, what I'm saying, hit her up so get the info going. But um first and foremost, how has your week been? What was the highlight?
Well, right now I'm currently recording a TikTok series. So on TikTok, the handle is at your custody coach. We're releasing episode by episode weekly every Sunday night at midnight. Just kind of going through how this all got started. The story is even have lived through it is a little unbelievable. You would think a mother would have, you know, the judge will be on the mother's side, right? No, not at all. But I definitely um, enjoyed recording that few episodes, and next week we're going to be releasing the fourth episode. So
Nice, nice. That's so dope because that's motivating to me. When I seen it on TikTok, I was like, "Oh man, this is fire!" Because I've been still trying to find a way to tell my story in an engaging and entertaining way, and I just have not, what I'm saying, came across that idea. But that right there definitely has sparked a couple ideas, so I love it. Um, so go ahead, take us back to the moment you lost your child to the court system. What was going through your heart and mind, and in that season of your life?
wow. At that moment, I just felt every court date that I was going to just felt like a funeral. I was literally mourning the loss of a living child. I I felt powerless. What was going on at that time in my life? I was attending the University of Bridgeport. I was a nursing student. That's how my son even ended up out of state. His father was going to basically build a relationship with him while I attended nursing school because there were four other children in the home that I had to care for, and he was just going to help make things easier for me. Um, I wasn't expecting to receive paperwork. Him and we were talking. I didn't understand where it was coming from. That season, just to experience that, I was the last words of the last court date. I was screaming out. I was in tears. I couldn't hold it back anymore. My emotion. Didn't understand what had happened, and I was just telling the judge. I was like, "Why? Oh God, why? I wish I would have never sent my son here." That's the last before the bailiff escorted me out of the courtroom. It was a very emotional experience.
Mm. Oh man, that's very serious. I can only imagine. You said something so dope. It and I say emotional attachment. Oh my goodness, you were going to the court date like it was a funeral, mourning a living child. And I tell you, my stomach hit the floor every time I walk into them courts for my kids. Man, I still go to got family court right now, and it's still the same feeling. So I definitely understand. Um, So, what shifted in you that gave you the strength to fight back?
Oh man, I had lost almost I had lost the ability to stand up for myself. I had given up for a while. I almost lost my mind. I had to get down on my knees. I had to pray because there was literally nothing else that I could do. It was a spiritual battle, and that's what I like to say. Custody battles, it's a spiritual war, and I train warriors because I feel that people are placed in the lives of children to make a great impact on them. whether good or bad, we all have our path. And when that path is interrupted, that's a divine, that's a fight that goes above us. Sometimes if there is supposed to be a positive influence, if you're not in your child's life or your children's life, and if you were not there, they would turn out this way. If you were there, then they would turn out that way. You being there is the key to getting them on their divine life path as well. So I always say that a custody battle is a spiritual war, and I train warriors. Um, I mean, that's just I don't know. It gets me every time.
No, I love it. I love it. One thing that's been hard for me, man, is like I was able to tell bits and pieces of my story on different podcasts, and I
Mhm.
like going through it. I completely get emotional. I stop. I forget what I'm thinking. Like this is something you can't fake this lifestyle. That's one of my favorite sayings, man. You cannot fake this lifestyle. People can have their opinions. Your other spouse got their own opinion of what's going on, but this is not something that you can fake. This is real life, man.
Yeah,
All right,
it really is.
so absolutely. So, um, what was the time frame? So you said that you were in nursing school, right?
Yes, I was
And
in nursing school.
how long were you in school before this incident happened?
I want to say 2017, 18, like 2 years. I was literally in the third. I was a junior. I was at the end of my junior year. I was that close to my BSN.
So y'all was rocking smooth this almost 3 years, and then wow,
Well. Now, how it all happened is when I sent him down the first time, I noticed I couldn't really talk with him as much. I noticed that he said he was coming up, he wasn't really coming. And then I didn't, I missed a few days, and I'm like, I text a girlfriend. Not talking to my son is like death by a thousand cuts. I need to speak to my baby. I feel like I've been tricked. I don't feel comfortable. He sent me the address, so I went down there and well, actually, I had the address, but then what ended up happening was being that the communication didn't increase, and then I called the school and I said, "Can I see what's going on with him? I wanted to just see if they're not talking to me, how is he doing in school?" And that's when they said, "Oh, I'm sorry, ma'am, we're not authorized to speak with you. We can only speak to the enrolling parent." That's when I got in my car and drove down to Georgia. So it wasn't a full, there was a brief intermission there because I went down and got him, but then he apologized and was like, "I'm sorry. I'm going to add you to the school. I'm going to give you, you already have our new address now. Um, we'll talk more. Like, I apologize about, I should have never, I did it the wrong way." And I believed him. Yeah, I definitely believed him. And I should not have. It's still very emotional to me, but the good
no,
thing
for
is
sure,
I survived it and I'm able to help other people go through this process and survive it as well. Like it took me to go along that path to light the way for others when they feel helpless, when they feel like they don't know what's going on or they're confused or can't get a certain document or whatever it is, there's a way to do it and I've already went through it, so I'm just making sure nobody else feels that way, as helpless as I did.
absolutely. And when I tell you, when I was trying to get um my case switched over from a different county, I felt helpless. I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to, and we just so
Exactly.
happens already had built rapport. So I reached out to Big Dog, and man, she was able to give me some dope advice to get my situation taken care of. So,
That's right.
but yeah, no, but man, whew, man, when I tell you,
Yeah.
eas-
Yeah.
easily,
It's
easily,
truly amazing. You never know. What I think was happening is I don't know. I think he, once he had gotten his son, kind of in his defense, mind you, he had been an absent father. Once he got his son and built a relationship with him, I think he just didn't want to send him back. You know what I mean? Like he just did it, but he went about it the complete and completely wrong. And like I said, divine intervention, that was not an okay to do. You don't, not an okay thing to do. You don't take a child away from their mother unless the mother is a risk to the child. That makes sense. But if not, no DCF reports, no abuse. What are you doing? You know? So I make sure that parents who are being kept away or parents that are truly looking out for the best interest of their children are guided down the right path. That's the goal here, to empower, to educate, um, and to help you emotionally get through the steps of this long battle.
Absolutely. I'm sorry. What's up, baby? Hold on. Shit, she probably trying to see if her friend can come over. Sorry about that. But
No worries, no worries.
for sure, yeah, no, that's and that's real because like with with me, it's hard for me to. I'm at the point to where it's hard for me to trust. So I would rather have a paper trail. I would rather stay in court. Man, I'm just like I say, I got a story for y'all ass. I'm just gonna give a little bit right now, just you know what I'm saying, just
Right,
a little sprinkle devil, you know what I'm saying?
right.
Um, wow, okay, now they're calling me. I'm sorry, my kids, man.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
so, yeah, she can come play, but yeah, but yeah, my kids, the cool kids, man. They be having the kids in the neighborhood kids in the backyard and stuff. But
Aw.
what I was gonna say, yeah, so it was the second time I had to deal with DCFS. It was a bunch of other stuff that was going on, but what took my kids out the home was my BM was mad because we got into it. Um, yeah, see, I'm about to give a lot. We got
Go ahead,
into it.
take it. Listen,
Look
I'm
here,
here for it. I'm here for it.
for sure. Like, no, we got into it. So my youngest was in the hospital for 6 days because of a health issue that she has. So she had a follow up appointment. When I left the appointment, let me just throw this into context real quick. I got my two girls, and I have their brother, which is not mine.
Okay.
DCFS
Mhm,
asked me to take care of him, and
mhm.
I just couldn't see him going through the system. So I was like, of course, I couldn't afford it or anything. And a whole nother third child is crazy. But so anyway, my daughter at the hospital. She got the follow up appointment. I don't have a car, or anything. I'm not in a good situation at all. I have a babysitter for two kids. I didn't have a babysitter for three kids. You know what I'm saying? So I instantly lost my job, car getting repoed. A lot of
Oh
it was
wow.
a snowball effect of things that was going on at the time. And so
Right.
like I say, so we get home. I reach out to her. I'm knowing she's not supposed to be around these kids because there's an active DCFS case going on. But I don't have any choice. I need to get my youngest to
Right.
her doctor. I reach out to her to do it. She come pick us up, and the caseworker. I talked to her a day or so before that, and I was letting her know
Mhm.
like, hey, the mom came and seen the kids while we was at the emergency room. I mean, the hospital, whatever. And she was like, she wasn't
Mhm.
supposed to do that without us being there. I'm explaining this to my kid's mother while we on the way to the follow up appointment, and I said, hey, I guess you're not supposed to be around these kids, blah blah blah. But for
Mhm.
right now, she
Yeah.
interrupted me and said, "We ain't finna do none of that. Fuck what you talking about. You a bitch, your mama bitch, your cousin a bitch, your sister bitch, everybody a bitch. We have three kids in the back seat, mind you." She turns around. We on our way. I didn't. Did I say anything else besides so what we're gonna have to do? I didn't say anything else. She didn't even know what I was gonna say.
Mhm.
Literally flipped
Mhm.
out on me, turned around, um John took us back home, didn't go to the appointment. So of course that didn't look good. That's neglect. It's medical neglect off the back. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
This the day before Mother's Day, like
Wow.
2017 or something. So the next day is Mother's Day. She texts me like, yo, can I see my kids? My reply was, I'm a bitch. My mama bitch, my cousin a bitch, my sister bitch. And then I just like, you know what I mean? Um,
Right.
so she was like,
Ooh.
okay, bet. Why that was the weekend. Why the next day, my daughter go to school, DCFS coming, my baby come home from school and DCFS is right behind her. This woman literally called DCFS and told on herself just to get the kids taken to make me
Wow.
mad.
Oh no, that's horrible.
So so I'm at a point to where I just trust. So I said all that to
Um,
say is like, so with you going through what you went through, And now, of course, we can't get the full you did because I'm actually excited to see the drops on TikTok. So,
Oh yeah.
how's the
Oh yeah.
co-parenting now though? Like, is it like are you able to like send them down there? Are y'all good or is
Oh
it?
no. His behavior in court, everything that happens, and when you're in court, everything that occurs, what your actions, your outbursts, your behaviors outside of court. That's why I tell my clients about documentation, documenting everything. The very first thing is to stop talking on the phone to your other parent, because if they're promising visitation to you and then they don't give it to you, you have no record of that in court. So no, his behaviors and the different things that have occurred, there is no involvement there. Not because I want it that way, but just because um, the system, the way the behaviors of you have to watch, you have to tune in. You have to tune in because it's all gonna come out. It's on TikTok. I'm gonna lay it all out and tell you. I'm telling you, it's really interesting. But that's why I talk about God a lot, because there was a time when I didn't think this would be my life. There was a time when I didn't think I was gonna make it. You see it a lot in the episodes. I'm literally talking to myself in a future tense, a self that I haven't even become yet, preparing
Mhm.
for this. But I really didn't know what I was preparing for at the time. So I mean, yeah, he's in Georgia.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's I hear that. I hear that. Yeah, no,
Yeah, I mean, when you have certain behaviors that are not okay, it's not about in court. It's not about who's the better parent. It's about um, who is. It's not about who's the better parent. It's about who has the child's best interest more. Who can provide more stability? Who can, whenever there's a conflict, uh, it's better to resolve that conflict. Um, that's what the courts are looking for. So.
nice, nice. Yeah, yeah, I
So
keep
I can't
hearing.
wait to get to that part. I really can't all love. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Yeah. Now you're I've actually I've written out scenes of
Uh-huh.
my story and stuff too. So like I say, man, I'm just listening to you and watching you, and just knowing your story, your situation, man. It's so motivating. I love it. Like so
Thank
when
you.
them
I
drops
appreciate
drop,
that.
you're gonna see me on it. And for those of y'all who don't know what we talking about, that's tuning in, go to my page a couple posts down. I just shared one that she had just dropped recently. So, but but man, so outside of just saying, the course is for the best interest of the children, how could I know it's per situation as well, but what type of advice could you give a parent that's going through the situation? That's just dealing with a parent who's not willing to co-parent, you know?
Right. Yeah. No, don't give up. Don't give up. If you're at the beginning of your case, your story can help others. We have a Facebook group, Empowered Parents Navigating Child Custody, where if you've gone through a custody battle and you want to share your story in that group, you can do so. If you're looking for advice and you can put it in the group. So sometimes your story becomes someone else's motivation. Sometimes your story, and we need that. The trials that we go through, they're not for no reason. They're for our growth and expression. And so I would just say, don't give up. You're not broken. There's nothing there's nothing wrong with you. Don't let the courts and all their denials and all of their, make you feel small. Keep fighting, because in the end you will win. And then I also teach about custody mindset. It's not just I want sole custody. I have sole custody. It's also I want sole custody, but the courts gave us joint custody, but I get to keep the children. That's still a win. A win is a win. It doesn't have to be every single thing that you want. So just keep pushing. Don't give up. Reach out to me. I'll walk you through it. We can do a free cut strategy call. There's free resources online. The website is childvisitationhelp.info. Um, I just released some information about DDG and the Holly situation and walk through their custody battle. There's a blog, and there's a podcast. So the podcast that I have, where I give all the advice pretty much for free. Like there's this open book, it's a resource there. Do the research yourself, but the information is there. And that is also on the blog, childvisitationhelp.info. So my advice is to reach out if you're going through it, even down to the child support. I mean, if you're going through it and you're needing a modification or you're wanting some information, let's get it done. Don't be afraid because going in there is very intimidating. But when you're empowered with the right knowledge and you have the tools and you know what you're going to say, and you're prepared and everything's in order, that takes the edge off a lot. So, that's all I would say to somebody currently going through that. Don't give up. Your child needs you. Your child needs you. That's why I didn't give up because I didn't want my son to say, "Mom, why didn't you fight for me?" I would have. I could never.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. That's so fire, man. Definitely your why got to be real big. You know what I'm saying? And definitely about the kids. And I love that, man. It was so many times to where I knew that because I was going through DCFS. I know you guys are just doing the regular course system joint, but
Mm,
dealing with that system, they wanted me to give up so much. Like they were giving me so many different obstacles and whatnot. They actually had me. I broke down one time. Called my mom
uh,
one day. My mom was in Oklahoma and stuff, so I mean, she wasn't able to be by my side right there. But yeah. Now she definitely I left court one time, broke me down one time out of, what
mm.
I'm saying, dealing with them for so many years. But um yeah, man, like that's the best thing ever. That's the reason why this podcast is just to inspire, man. I just want everybody to know and understand it don't matter where you at in your journey. You don't have to just not be there. Just you don't like be active, like just
And
be present, man. That's what they're gonna remember. You know what
and
I'm
may I
saying?
say
Like
one other thing? I'm
yeah,
sorry. That's
no
what you're
problem.
saying right now. That a lot of people give up. They'll lose that one battle and they just won't go anymore. That's the wrong thing to do.
Absolutely, man. My father shared that about me on an episode we did. He said like, he got frustrated with my mom and he just gave up. You know what I mean? Like it's so easy to do that. That's the easy route. Absolutely. And circumstances I really can't think of ain't too many circumstances I can think of that can just make you want to, you know what I'm saying, just push back. But um some people for their sanity, you know what I'm saying? It's a bunch of different situations, but all in all, man, beat up for them babies, man. Because when like me growing up, I wanted my father so bad growing up, but then I realized it wasn't my mom's fault. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't like
Right.
you know what I'm saying. Like he is, it's a bunch of stuff he could have did to be there. You know what I'm saying? To kind of like shift
Right.
the way I was thinking, but. I don't want nobody to feel like that. Just growing up thinking that they want their parent and stuff or whatever, and they're not there. So, man, we trying our best to bridge the gap between you know what I'm saying, what's going on with these parents. So
Right.
uh, me just being transparent about my situation, I'm hoping that is inspiring somebody because like a lot of people, you always got the people on both sides or whatever, right? Um,
Uh-huh.
it don't matter if y'all believe me. It don't matter if y'all believe my BM or whatever. She knows what the fuck is going on around here.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like that's what like that's really be the main thing. Like she knows damn well I want and need that woman as a mother to her fucking kids. She knows this. Um, so I say that to say, man, don't always, you know what I'm saying, fall on nobody's side about shit and about, you know what I'm saying? It just never fucking know, man, because
Exactly.
I keep receipts for me though. I just need to let you know, like motherfucker. I keep receipts. And you know what I really loved about your video is that you had old videos of you like going through the situations at the time and shit like that. Like that's something I wish I would have did, honestly. But I got every single court paper from man, I got everything. Text messages from the last three phones that I done had. Like
Right.
yeah, we ain't finna play that. Y'all not finna find me sitting on nobody couch 5 years from now, lying on my BM. No sir. No sir.
Right.
No, we gonna have it on receipts. But man, that's amazing, man. You are
Yeah.
doing God's work. You
And
hear me?
just
You
to
are
tell you, those videos, something inside of me was just saying, record what you're going through. Just record every facet of what I went through. I recorded. and not even knowing that it was going to come to using it or going public about my story or exposing how these laws are working. It was just innately a thing to a thing to do, you know.
Absolutely. And
Hold on 1 second, okay?
sure.
Okay. I
No
have
problem. No
now, and
problem.
mind you, I have 5 children. So we have three that are biologically mine, and I have two that are my ex-husband's sister's children, who I've had since 2012, from 3 years old to 11 months old, and now they're 14 and 16.
That's
So
that's
five
amazing. So
five
you have
little
to.
people in here. Thank
So you
you.
got insight. Absolutely. So you got insights on the foster parent as well.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
foster parent.
just a tad, not much. I've helped a couple of people with DCF. So I had to fight for them from DCF. I had to fight for them. I know a little bit about them. I know what they can and can't do, but I don't claim that as my scope. But I have
Mm,
helped a couple of people. As a matter of fact, if I can just add this, a friend of mine had her son with the father as she went through a postpartum experience with herself. They wrote down, she had legal custody with the paperwork. She had the legal documents, but they had a verbal agreement. And I want people to be very, very careful about informal agreements. When you're talking with the other parent about what you guys are going to do together, please put it in writing because they can back out. Something can change on your side, but if you have it in writing, it's binding. So because her son's father did not want to return her child, she naturally called me, and I told her, which is true, interference with child custody is a law in all 50 states. Some states it's a felony, some states it's a misdemeanor, but it's called interference with child custody. I work with IC3. That's an organization on Facebook as well to kind of learn about what that was. They are, if you want to advocate for your state, you can contact the IC Coalition, Interference with Child Custody Coalition. Um, and they actually go to Washington to march on the whole child custody thing. But I'm sorry,
mm,
interference with child custody. But the reason why I'm saying this is because if you know what the laws are in your state, she took her legal document, which anybody can do. If you have a custody order in place, the police are normally going to say, "Oh, this is a civil matter. We can't help you with this." The police that's what they normally say. This is a civil matter. We can't help you with this situation at all, right? But if they know that if you have a signed document in your hand stating that you do have custody, physical custody, that person can be arrested. That's a felony, especially if they've had the child longer than 15 days. So that's
mm.
something that within 2 hours, she was going through it, saw my content online, gave me a call and was like, "Oh my God, Nicole," went to the police station, followed the steps that I told her to follow within 2 hours. And that'd been over a year. Within 2 hours, she had gotten her son back.
That's what's up. What? That's dope, man.
Yes.
Imagine that you just chilling, minding your business, man, thinking you got one up. Knock on the door, your ass in handcuffs, homie. Damn.
Right.
Oh man, do right by
And
them
the other
kids,
parent,
man.
huh?
Now I was just gonna say, do right by them kids. Go ahead, girl.
The 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 other parent the other parent, they do feel like they have one up. And technically they do if they're controlling you emotionally. All they have to do is call your phone and they know you're gonna blow up. They send you a text message, your whole day's messed up after. They do have a one up, but when you gain that knowledge, that experience, with the preparedness, and once they start to lose control, you'll see them spiral. You'll see them doing things they didn't do before. They'll be more erratic and less like they have one up, and more it's more reactive once you gain control and learn what to do.
Absolutely, and that's really sad because there's a lot of situations are based on just control. Like if one person's not able to say you can't do the hair like that or some whatever, it'd be little manageable arguments that could definitely be solved on their own that bring parents to court. You know what I mean? And man, that's a lot, man.
It is.
All right, so So, like you said, you're a custody coach, so you're not a lawyer. Yet you've helped so many people navigate a system most feel helpless in, including me. Um, what drives you to be that lifeline for others?
Um, the place that my high conflict custody battle took me is the darkest place I think I've ever been in my life.
Mm,
When I decided to turn it around, when I was at that point, I was even put on child support, $800 a month I had to pay this man for this one child while caring for four others. I had almost lost my mind. I don't want anybody to ever go through anything like that. That's just horrible. I can't even, I don't know. I'm just, it's in my spirit to help. And yes, I do charge for my services, but I do give a free consultation and I provide an implementation sheet, a strategy implementation sheet, something just to give you an idea of where to go. You know what I'm saying? I work with a network. I called lawyers across the United States, from California to Puerto Rico. There are attorneys on the network who I can refer people to if your case is that uh,
mm,
what do you want to say, complex. I'm not an attorney. I can't file the papers for you. I cannot, what I do is I show you where to file, make sure that they're filled out correctly. We kind of go over what to expect in court and, and things like that. But yeah, a lot of people, it's just, that's how, I mean, I don't want nobody going through that. I can't imagine another person, I wouldn't even want to put my son's father through that. I wouldn't even want him to go, like I would just, it's just not right. And if you have the knowledge and you've went through the experience and you've survived it, you take that knowledge and you share it. You share it so nobody else has to suffer the way I had to suffer, the way my entire family, because mind you, one child out of five, they all knew each other, but one was gone for years. Imagine
mm.
how they felt. Nobody cared about how biological brothers who once had a bond that saw each other every day, or a little baby sister that was just born that had a big brother, playing around with the little blocks on the floor. Now the brother that's closest to age, they're gone. When they first started like back together, my daughter, who's my youngest child, and the child that was gone, they were building forts in the house, but she didn't have that when he had left before. So it can destroy a family, and I'm here to make sure that as much as I can empower the parents so that doesn't happen.
Absolutely, man, and that's so powerful. I tell you, my youngest, she said that probably 3 times today. She always say, "I miss my mommy," and I want to see my brothers. And man, I tell her, man, we miss all them too, big girl. If it can happen, it can happen. You know what I mean? So yeah, like
Yeah.
people not thinking about those type of relationships. A lot of this should be self centered. Um, there's so many, like, you got grandmas, you got aunties, you got uncles. Man, you got so many people tied around these kids that are accustomed to them kids being around, and then to just wake up one day and they're gone. I ain't gonna say necessarily gone, but yeah, I guess basically gone, man. Just depend on the situation. So, um, that's powerful, man. If I can, like I said, I'll use some services. Extremely professional. Um, was actually on my ass way. She took my situation more serious than I was, honestly, at the time. She was
Mm-hmm.
definitely my ass like, "Yo, did you do this? Did you do that? Do that? Hey, we got a follow up call, blah blah blah, this or that, whatever." But she basically was showing me how to subpoena records that I needed, how to compare schools from two different counties and shit.
Oh yeah.
That she literally gave me like so many things that I wouldn't even thought of in no shape, form, or fashion. I would have to sit down and do some extensive research on that. But first and foremost, I'm sure I'll thank you, but I've never met you in person. But we face to face now. I greatly appreciate
That's
you, man.
right.
Like, thank you so much. Like, so
Yes,
much.
you're very
'Cause
welcome.
absolutely, man. But yeah, that's it right there, man. We're gonna go ahead and end it right there, man. We looking forward to the drops. Um, like I said, follow her TikTok channel.
Yes.
Please go ahead if you can. Let everybody know where they can reach her at one more good time.
Yes. So on TikTok, it's at your custody coach, Nicole Daniels. On Instagram, it's also at your custody coach. And even here on Facebook, I put the trailers. So it's just Nicole Daniels. Either way, they drop every Sunday at midnight.
Nice, nice. That's dope. That's dope. Okay, so we make sure y'all get in tune with the homie, man. Share this video. Go to her page. Share her page around. Like, get this around because, like I say, man, it's a lot of people that you know personally, and I'm talking to y'all who watching that who going through the situation, but they just can't reach that lawyer like they want to, and they just can get some advice to help them out. I stand on this. What my man
Mhm.
say, Blue Magic. I stand by this product. Do you hear me? Absolutely. Um, Full Time Father podcast, man. I just dropped the episode with Gabe, my man's of the owner of the clothing line. I don't just have sex with anyone. The most goddamn, that's the most dopest fucking clothing line I've ever experienced. I'm so happy to even have a piece of his collection. Um, Make sure y'all check that out on YouTube. I dropped that episode yesterday. We got a couple episodes for y'all this week coming up, man. I'm gonna make a couple posts for y'all, but other than that, fathers, be active. I don't give a fuck if you're active or you're not active. I don't care where you at in your journey, homie. Just get up and do it. I don't give a fuck if your son fucking 17 and you ain't seen him this entire time, man. Go beat their motherfucking door down. Do whatever it is you need to do that's safe to try to amend that relationship, man. Be prepared for the pushback because they supposed to. You know what I'm saying? Try to do it on their terms. Don't try to make it on your own terms. You know what I mean? Man, that's just a little bit I can just throw out there for y'all. But there's no love like all love, man. I appreciate y'all. This has been full time.